So I guess one of the areas that we focus on and involved in a couple of projects in this area is we see causality as a people problem. So looking at changing the way people think and act, and involved in one of the co-founders of SIX of Asia Venture Lab. So we look at Asia Pacific. And so we commercialize sustainable technologies, transform the ecosystem footprint of the planet. It's one area. And then there's another area called New Life, which is how you actually build communities that are sustainable and, make not only people, but also the environment thrive. Because all our economy comes out of the environment, fundamentally. Take that away and there is no economy. So that's a quick summary.
Was there a name to the group that you were working with, or was it more than
one? It's called Asia Venture Lab.
Okay.
And you can, so asiaventurelab.com. It's basically based out at Singapore and involved in Indonesia, Japan, and Australia, but right across Asia Pacific.
So you have a cross-cultural collaboration there, people working between different countries. How many countries or groups and countries are involved?
Well, it's all of Asia Pacific, but the main, like we're currently in talks with people in Holland, for example. They're doing stuff around the world, but our main locations are Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, and Australia. And that's where the different people in the group. One of the gentlemen in the group, he started angel investment in Australia. So he's involved in the investment area.
So it's mainly the developed economy groups that are you're working with.
I probably need to explain that a little bit more, David.
Well, I differentiate between Holland, Singapore, and Australia, and let's say Malaysia, Indonesia, and
Asia Pacific generally. So where Holland comes in at the moment is that we don't really care where we get our technologies from.
Right.
But our primary markets are Asia Pacific.
But is your market directed, because it's been discussed a lot now in Cairo, are you trying to help countries that are island-based countries and countries that are way behind in their economies? Are you trying to bridge this huge divide between what we call today the emitters and those who are suffers from the emissions? You see about gap I'm talking about, the two kind of worlds today that emerge in Egypt, where the countries that suffers from emissions, the island countries in the Pacific and others, want the emitters to be conscious of their issues and pay up for their emissions. So are you trying to bridge between these two worlds?
Okay, I understand the question. No, not exactly, but yeah, as a byproduct of that. So if you don't change people's attitudes, let's say at the top who have the most power of causing most of the problems, then you won't be able to affect the rest of the planet and the environment itself. So we see it as a fundamental people problem.
Okay, so how do you?
If you give them solutions that are more economic, so that it doesn't cost them huge amounts of money necessarily, it's more economic and productive, while at the same time mitigating a lot of the problems with the environment. Everyone sort of wins out of that. So that's sort of the space we work in.